Okay, so with Fortnite Chapter 7 Season 1 coming to an end officially tonight, I just kind of want to talk about it, right? This is one of the longest seasons ever, the third longest to be exact. Um, I didn't necessarily make it a bad season. I think it played it safe, right? It's not broken and like bug ridden constantly. Obviously, yes, it had its bugs, right? But I mean, what season doesn't? So generally, I kind of want to talk about the loot pool, the map, the new mechanics it added and whatnot, collabs, updates, etc. Starting with the loot pool, I myself have hated on the loot pool for the shotguns prior, but as time goes on, I've kind of learned to enjoy it. I think it's a really balanced shotgun loot pool. The Iron Pump and Twin Hammer are both excellent choices, and they were both here all season too. Um, and then there were unvolts, right? The Sovereign Shotgun, which while not that bad, also didn't take over or really become a substitute for either of those guns. And then even later in the season, the Pump and Combat were just dominant, at least in my opinion. Um, which that's not a bad thing. I think this was a really solid shotgun loot pool, despite my own gripes with it previously. The assault rifle loot pool was just mental. Um, the red dot ARs once again dominated. Obviously, they were changed to be not hit scan at longer ranges. Even then, they still dominated. Like the Deadeye assault rifle was just broken, as well as just the MK7 that was just also really good and kind of became meta whenever the Deadeye was vaulted. The Enforcer was really good too, as well as the Tactical AR, which was later unvaulted. And it's really a shame that the Tactical AR had to share a loot pool with the Deadeye because the Deadeye just blows everything else out of the water. Um, and then they just decided to casually drop this little piece of shit known as the lock-on assault rifle, which is just an AK-47, but it's given aimbot and it kind of sucks ass. Um, Late into the season, the loot pool was probably the most balanced that ever was. Because all the OG loot was, or not all of it, but all the OG loot that was added back was unvaulted. Hit scan was changed, or not hit scan. The red dots were changed from hit scan. As well as the arc lightning gun just wasn't that good towards the end of this season, as people kind of figured out ways around it. The wingsuit, which was added on launch, was just kind of bad generally most of the season and was dominated by shockwaves. And speaking of shockwaves, they were vaulted like halfway through the season for about 4 seconds. The Kill Bill blade was just really good too. It was kind of a hybrid between the Typhoon and the Kinetic blade, which helped it just kind of not dominate, but it was kind of really useful to have in certain situations. Um, Now they did add Flowberry, like, uh, well, one, they added back Flowberry Fizz, and secondly, they added a smoke grenade version of it, which was so good, right? Um, Fortnite's just always kind of been really great at adding healing items that don't suck for the most part, and generally just they had a really balanced loot pool for most of this season. Um, Especially towards the end, as I said. Now, when it comes to the map for the chapter, I think it was a really good starting map. It had like 13 POIs or something like that. The biggest gripe with it just came down to there not being enough loot. Like, we were in the Fortnite loot Great Depression this whole season. Um, some of my personal favorite POIs were Latte Landing and Bumpy Bay, which were just really, like, they really show what Fortnite excels at when it comes to making POIs. Um, they were small, they were very straightforward. Um, they were condensed. If you got, people there off spawn, perfect game. Uh, Battlewood Boulevard obviously was just kind of like the clear hot drop for the season. It was the Tilted Towers, so to speak. Interloop Labs, aka Lethal Labs, and Classified Canyon just added a dimension that isn't really seen in most other maps. Uh, you know, kind of vertical. They're a lot underground. It was essentially like there was a layer and then there was a second layer. Just really interesting POIs, really great POIs all around. I wouldn't really say there was a weak POI on this whole map. And if Chapter 6 and Chapter 5 had the train, Chapter 7 has hot air balloons. Which I can't even be mad about, because the hot air balloons were fun, right? To just ride. And at least you could be in them, and they weren't just kind of like decoration. So overall, very solid map changes, or I guess the entire thing was a map change. Really good starting map, and really good starting map mechanics and POIs. Now, as for general mechanics and updates and stuff that happened, this was a very long season, but with that being said, it had stuff that happened during it, right? There was a lot of new content added. Um, they added ragdolling when you're downed, as well as drivable reboot vans, which just those two things combined could just allow you so much more freedom and movement. They added anomalies, which, were kind of like random events that would happen during the game. Uh, like the Gold Rush one, right? Those were all they were interesting, but most of the time you wouldn't notice them. I kind of want them to expand upon those and make them more interesting. Kind of the same way that the way augments used to be, right? Um, they did have the DeLorean to start the season, or not even to start, but like a week or two in. The loot for it wasn't that good. Like the lever action shotgun and the SCAR. Like, I'm not taking the SCAR over the Deadeye assault rifle any day of the week, unfortunately. Cars were nuked off the map, if you don't know. Like, the spawn rates for them were just, like, dramatically cut. Um, and obviously there was the South Park update, which I covered in a video. It added a lot of really interesting stuff. It played it safe. Like, there wasn't anything game breaking outside of, like, the stick of truth. Which most people would just put in the middle of the ocean or on the tallest mountain in the world. So, generally speaking, oh, and I completely forgot to mention, the story got brought back, if you really care about that stuff. I think the story is in a healthy place right now. I'm not really going to talk on it because I'm not an expert or somebody who's too into it. But they did add it back, obviously. And that's a W. Next season seems to be very story focused. And speaking of next season, the future of the chapter looks very promising. If you've watched any of the trailers or leaks that have came out about next season, it looks really good. But obviously, I'm going to say don't have your expectations super high, because this is Fortnite we're talking about. This is Epic Games. They are very known for just fumbling great ideas and great themes. Look at Myths Immortals, right? Um, One of the few things that I wish that they will do for next season is not focus on collabs as much, right? Uh, and then obviously, you know, play it, have it balanced, but don't try to play it safe or too safe. because then you get people saying that the season is boring and they don't care, and then people aren't playing and spending money and obviously all that stuff. So, yeah. Final thoughts on the season. I think it was a really great season. It had questionable execution at times, as well as just Epic doing really scummy stuff in the background with the V-Buck changes. Um, so yeah, honestly, high hopes for next season. I think it's going to be really great. Um, this season I'll probably give like a 7.5 out of 10. I think it was just alright, but I think they could obviously do so much better if they tried. Um, so now's the part of the video where I kind of tell you to, well, if you like this one, obviously, subscribe, watch another video that I've made, either on Fortnite or Rivals or whatever the hell else you might be interested in. So yeah, do all that stuff everybody else tells you to do. Use somebody's creator code. I don't have one, so use somebody's, whether it's Ninjas or Laser Beams or whoever else's, honestly. I don't really care. Use somebody's, though. Especially if you're going to fuel the Fortnite economy.
Cammy, stop being a bitch and get over here.
The wrong guy got sent across the map.
Oh. I'm alive.
Oh, there's a toilet! I must go to the toilet. Yo, this is my home. This is my home.
Why am I the only one left out here trying to fight? Are you kidding me?
Yo, it's Gage's house.
What do you think of the crib? What do you think of the crib?
Yo, I'm bringing someone too.
Bringing
We're
someone.
about to have some. We're about to have a home intruder.
It's okay. I got the tank ready.
Fall behind.
They might be coming through my front door.
They might. They're coming through the front
Everyone
door.
get down. Oh my god. He's going shopping. Oh, Gage, your fat ass got in my way. Okay, I gotta quiet down. I gotta quiet down.
Don't want to repeat it yesterday.
Yeah. Gage, your chunky ass got in my way.
Alright, boys, back
Not
to
cool.
our position. Home intruder!
Hey,
Home
get
intruder!
the fuck out of my house! Get the fuck out of my house!
No, they ripped off the front door.
Fuck you, Scooter.
They ripped off my door from its hinges. Nah,
Oh,
I'm
man.
getting them back for that.
I think we have to follow Gage now.
I like flew directly into a tree.
What?
Put down from the.